First, maybe we sort of start on that, your reaction to the new allegations in court filings about the extent of the plot that was being put together against you.
Well, I think it just tells you that words matter and the words of our leaders matter. I mean, the incredible vitriol that is being waged, whether it's against Dr. Fauci or it is against a Republican Secretary of State in Georgia, or it is against a governor who's just simply trying to save people's lives. It is undermining our democracy, and these latest attempts around this election are just an extension of that. It is dangerous, and we really do need people of goodwill on both sides of the aisle who care more about our democracy than their parties to stand up and to say this is unacceptable. We've had a free, fair, and secure election. We need to respect the will of the people, and we need to certify these results. And we need to get the Biden administration to get started on this transition so that they can get their arms around COVID, something that this current administration has never been able to do.
Let me ask you about Michigan state law here. You've got the Speaker of the Michigan House, a Republican, the state Senate president, a Republican as well, invited to the White House. It's very clear what the president wants them to do is to just say to the Michiganders who voted for Biden by 143,000 vote margin, too bad, tough. We're taking that away and giving it to Donald Trump. Aside from how offensive that is at Democratic level, there's no provision in your state law that allows them to do that, is there?
No, and I'm glad that you opened the show by telling people this isn't going to happen. I mean, there's the vote margin actually in Michigan is now 157,000 votes. That is 14 times the vote margin that Trump won Michigan in 2016. 14 times. The State Board of Canvassers are to meet on Tuesday. They have one legal duty, and that is to certify this election so that we can send our electors in. They will be Joe Biden electors, and he will be sworn in as the 46th president of the United States on January 20th.
There was reporting tonight that one of the people on that state board, which again, like the Wayne County Canvassing Board, is a bipartisan board split evenly, is saying that he's leaning towards not certifying. How big of an issue is it if you get Republican officials at these various levels essentially buying into these completely insane conspiracy theories?
I think it's really dangerous, to be honest. The fact that our two highest ranking Republicans in the legislature are going to the White House, they're being summoned there by a president who's lost the state and who I wasn't invited to the meeting. I've not been briefed on what they're going to cover, but we're all assuming he's going to try to implore them the way he did these county canvassers to do whatever they can to not certify the will of the people of Michigan. And I think it's incredibly dangerous that they're even entertaining the conversation because we all know what the law is in Michigan. This is an embarrassment to the state, and it's an effort to disenfranchise the most populous county in our state, by the way, which also is the county that is home to the largest African-American part of our population. This has so many ramifications, many legal, many ethical, and I would advise anyone to tread very carefully because there could be much longer-term problems for anyone who participates in an effort to undermine the election by a candidate who was on that ballot.